There are much worse games to play.
Hey, shh.
Welcome back, everyone, to Not Another Needless Sequel, where we watch movies and propose unnecessary prequels, sequels, reboots, and remakes. My name is Kane. With me, as always, is my co-host, Kelsey.
Hey.
This week, we're taking a look at 2015's The Hunger Games Mockingjay Part 2, and as always, there will be time codes below.
The final movie in the series.
Yes, we're back to sequels now, so this episode will have a sequel, and obviously going forward, we will have sequels.
It's a 100 episode special. Woo, 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 woo. We made it to 100.
Okay.
Woo, 100. Woo, 100.
On Rotten Tomatoes, The Hunger Games Mockingjay Part 2 was given positive reviews by 70% of critics and 66% of general audiences.
People hated this movie.
Well, I don't. It was all right.
This got worse reviews than another one of them, and this was better than the last one. It's not the best one.
With a budget of $160 million, it walked away from the box office with less than the last one, which is $661.4 million. Still made its money back by a lot.
I think people are probably just upset at the ending.
They're probably just tired of it at that point, I think. And the last one, I said it didn't need to be split into two parts as is. And so I think the last one probably lost some people.
I agree. I liked this movie more than the last one. I gave it a 4.5 out of 5. I think I gave the last one a 4. I don't know. Maybe I gave them the same thing. It doesn't matter. I actually did like this movie a little bit better than the last one because it seemed like there was more at stake and they had to work through more and it was more action filled.
Which is interesting because even though this movie is viewed as like the most violent one, there's only 10 total minutes of combat across the whole movie.
Which is crazy.
But I liked it. I gave it a 4 out of 5 as well. I think there was a lot of interesting things in it. I don't think it was better than the first two, but I think it's hard to compete with the actual Hunger Games when that's all action, all nonsense, all shit like that. So it opens up with Peeta and Katniss, recovering after their spat, shall we say. I wrote down something, and maybe I'm wrong, but it was killing me to hear Katniss do her, like they were testing her voice. And I feel like Jennifer Lawrence didn't know how to make her voice sound strained, and so she was elongating every word. Because the way that she says "my," it's not even if you had a fucked up voice, you'd be like "my," but she like held it real long, and I was just weird. I was like, okay.
She said, "Hi, my name is
Peeta." I think they do a really interesting scene where they send in Prim to give him somebody that he knows, and he initially is okay with it, and then he quickly snaps into like, "Did Katniss send you in here? You need to kill her. She's a mutt." Like his acting in that scene, top notch. Fucking Josh Hutcherson is killing it in this movie. Like, I think he might be the...
We said that in all the movies, though.
I think he might be the best actor of the fucking victors, at least. I mean, I can't say he's better than Woody Harrelson. I've seen that man put some stuff in, but still. Attaboy, Josh Hutcherson. It's getting me stoked to see the next FNAF movie.
If only everyone had seen Bridge to Terabithia.
Oh, God. Gail is here. Gail is,
everybody's favorite NPC.
Just hitting the same tropes. He's just,
I love you, Katniss. I hope Gail gets better because... Peeta gets better because then I'll finally have a chance to get in your pants, Katniss.
Yeah, he says he'll never get it if she is still dealing with Peeta. Gail is, full-fledged soldier now, and Katniss actually wants to go to District 2 to fight or help convince people, I guess. She's putting on the whole I'm going to be the Mockingjay thing.
Well, Katniss wants to kill Snow. And in order to get to Snow, they have to take District 2. And she wants to be there and be a part of it and actually fight.
Yeah, well, initially they're saying, like, she needs to convince the people because the people in 2 are obviously way more loyal to the Capitol. They really had me going. When she gets to 2 and that train pulls up and that guy comes out and he's all holding his ear after they like cause an avalanche on them, I was like, oh shit, this guy can't hear. And then he grabs Katniss the minute he gets near her and puts a gun to her fucking chin.
And she said, do it.
Basically, she basically convinces him not to do it based on the fact that they're both just slaves to Snow. Unfortunately, some guy in the back couldn't hear the speech, and he decided to shoot Katniss anyway.
So they basically decide to keep her behind everyone for propaganda purposes.
Yes, which she's not interested anymore. And so she has a conversation with Joanna at one point, and Joanna says to her something along the lines of, anybody can kill anybody, Katniss, even a president. You just have to be willing to sacrifice yourself. So her words are paraphrasing a statement by John F. Kennedy, and he said, if anyone's crazy enough to want to kill a president of the United States, he can do it. All he must be prepared to do is give his life for the presidents. But, imagine it like, if anyone is crazy enough, John F. Kennedy. Let me tell you, this is already
off topic.
All the words I've said in this last few minutes is going to get the FBI to listen to our podcast.
Well, hey, one more listener.
Welcome in, fuckers. Anyway.
What I was gonna say is that, to me, retrospectively looking, like, after you've seen the movie, or if you had seen the movie before today, that's foreshadowing for her also getting rid of Coin. I think that Katniss sees that President Coin is also not a good person.
Yeah.
She's just using all these people for her own revenge on Snow. But she ends up, and we'll talk about this later, turns out to be almost exactly like him. And I think Joanna, if anything, she may be crazy, but she's honest. And she can read through the bullshit in the lines. And I think that she and Katniss think a lot alike, which is why she said that, because she can already tell that Coin is also a terrible person.
Well, as a result of Joanna agreeing with her and covering for her so she can sneak onto a plane and get into the fight, she ends up among a new squad, which is called Star Squad, but they say it one time in the movie. Before that, they're Squad 451. Squad 451 is a reference to 451 degrees Fahrenheit, which is the temperature at which paper burns, since Katniss is the girl on fire. And it's also a call out to the book Fahrenheit 451 by Ray Bradbury. If you don't know, that's another dystopian novel. But they are moving through the city, and there's these thing called pods that are like traps, basically. They seem to me to just be guns in the wall, but literally they just refer to pods as any danger that's happening, and it's like a trap set for them. If they step in a certain area, something will happen. There'll be a gun, there'll be fire, there'll be liquid death, there'll be animals. They actually also send PETA there, which is confusing for everyone because PETA, last they saw, is crazy. He even walks up and he's repeating himself like the one thing he knows. He's like, my name is Peter Millark, I'm from District 12, and he just keeps saying it because he's trying to get a grip on reality. And they go through a whole thing where it's like he doesn't know what's real, and they tell him, well, just ask and we'll tell you. And one of the most emotional lines, I think, for me, I wrote down is him at that point. He looks at Katniss after constantly like snapping at her and saying she's the enemy, she's a mutt. He says, your favorite color is green. Is that real? And even then, after that, Katniss goes, I can't do this, and walks away because she initially was like, oh, I'll keep watching him. I can kill him if I need to. But like, she loves that boy. And he clearly loves her. That for that to be one of the only things he's holding on to as part of his reality is Katniss's favorite color. I can't take it.
Yeah, I think it just goes to show how much he did love her. And what I find super creepy about this is they start talking more at night. And he says that, most of that stuff is out of his system, but he still has times where he's not really there.
Yeah.
Which we'll get to that in a second. But he does try and attack her and kill her again in a break when it's not him.
Yeah.
And then it makes him want to die because he knows that he's not being himself and that the Capitol changed him. But my point is at night, he gets deeper and deeper into conversation, and she's like, real, real, real. She even says, like, they were in an actual relationship. It started out fake. She really loves him. But my point to all of this is our favorite NPC is up, awake, and listening to their conversations at night.
All for him to say, if it gets to that point, I'll kill you myself. We know, Gail.
Yeah,
Thank you.
I know.
Thank you.
Golly,
Can you just get
Gail.
out of here?
If anybody is Team Gale, they can't watch it because we're shit talking too much.
If you're Team Gail, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
They're moving
That's
through
just
this.
like if you're Team Jacob. Bye.
Oh, yeah, he is very weird too. As they're moving through the city, trying to head towards Snow's mansion, the center of the capital, they activate this trap by accident, and I think that this trap isn't talked about enough. So it closes this ring of the city that they're in, and it starts filling up with this black oil. Now, I was just like, oh
We
yeah,
gotta mention that Boggs died first. Boggs died of the explosion prior to
oh
that.
yeah. I guess when they step in there, they set off a bomb, and Boggs dies. Boggs is holding what they call the Hollow, and it's basically like a map that tells them where the pods are that they're aware of, and he transfers it to Katniss at the same time, telling her, "Don't trust anybody." And he said something earlier about he knows that Peeta was the one that that Coin wanted to save, not Katniss, and he just is uncomfortable with everything, and so he transfers ownership.
He also doesn't trust Coin.
So he transfers ownership of the item of the Hollow to Katniss, and anyway, then the arena starts filling with this black oil, and I thought, oh, they'll drown. It's thick.
I
It's,
thought
you
the
can't
same
breathe it,
thing.
but something's wrong with it. I don't like if you touch it, you get strung up into the air on razor wire. It's
almost
like
like
Silent
Venom.
Hill. I mean, yeah, it looks like Venom, but it literally, if you've seen, okay, I've only seen the Silent Hill movies. I've never played the game, so excuse me. If you've seen the Silent Hill movie, there is a scene where a woman gets just strung up into the sky with razor wire. It literally does. I have no idea how it does it either.
You
Like
think
it
it was an
attaches.
ode to the song? They strung up a man. They say who murdered three. Because that's their like war anthem, their rebellion anthem.
No, because they only use it in that one movie. If anything, the other song is sung more than once, which is just the song that she sings to Rue. But regardless, is that what's written in the book? What the fuck is that? That is the worst thing in any of the games, any of the traps that they've dealt with. That is the most horrific thing. Also, throughout this, I wrote down, like, Caesar keeps popping up on the screen and giving, like, updates on what's happening to them and shit talking it. Oh, I didn't mention. When that black oil starts filling up the arena, they start to run. It's already such a panic. I'm freaking out about the razors. And then Peeta grabs Katniss, throws her to the ground, tries to hit her with a gun. I think that moment and how fast it happens was done really well because it adds so much to the stress of the whole moment. Like, you're freaking out about it already, and then he's doing that, and you don't know, like, oh, we gotta pull Peeta with us, but also he's trying to kill us. But anyway, Caesar keeps popping up on the screen to commentate on what they're doing. He, like, shows the video footage of Peeta trying to kill Katniss, that kind of thing. And all I wrote down is, hey, Caesar, fuck you. Like, you're just such a kiss ass.
Kiss ass to the end, am I right?
Absolutely. Like, there's barely any of the capital left, and you're over there sucking dick.
Yeah.
After that happens, a couple of the members of the squad are cornered by peacemakers in the building they were surviving in, and the peacemakers attack the building and blow it up, believing to have killed everybody in the building. But the rest of them escape through the sewers. Now, I thought it was interesting that night on the TV they flash all the pictures of the rebels of the squad that they believe died, and they do it like the Hunger Games. Like, it's playing that anthem, you know, that it plays at the end of every Hunger Games night, showing you who died. The only thing was missing is they weren't firing cannons, but I think a lot of this film is set up, or at least a lot of this trip is set up in a way that feels similar to a Hunger Games in a sense.
Yeah.
Apparently, the cast has said multiple times that was the most challenging scene to shoot because it took 3 weeks. It was physically demanding, and apparently it was hot because they were actually in a sewer system. I don't think it was an active one because somebody also said, like, oh, the water was filled with Dawn dish soap and brown coloring. And in my head, I was like, you guys didn't do that in a real. There's no. You didn't. We're not
Yeah.
standing around waiting in shit water and
Yeah.
putting Dawn soap in there. Like, oh, it'll look worse.
Yeah.
Anyway, they are attacked by mutts. The mutts stand for mutations or mutations, I guess, but they're not the dogs. These were like, I don't know.
Demogorgons.
Yeah, they were just like a humanoid creature with sharp teeth, just tearing them apart, flooding the area, attacking them. In the end, Finnick is fighting off a ton of them with
His trident.
a trident. He's a badass, that scene, which is great because the last movie he didn't get any play, but he's killing it right here. The only reason he dies is because he ends up throwing his trident, and so then he doesn't have anything but a knife.
He
and
saves Katniss. He throws
Yeah.
the trident to save Katniss.
And he's trying to climb up a ladder as the last one after he got everyone else out, and one of them jumps up and pulls him down. He's being eaten alive. It was very reminiscent of What's
Kato's death.
Kato's? I think it was
Yeah.
supposed to be because the way she's looking down and he's screaming and yelling Katniss as he's being like eaten alive. She throws a. I mean, there's no reason.
She says nightlock, 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 which activates the hollow to explode itself.
Yeah, that's just so she drops an exploding hollow on top of Finnick and kills him and everyone around as they continue to work towards Snow's
But
mansion.
before they even had a time to mourn Finnick's death, they're trying to run. They run into peacekeepers
Oh
and they
yeah,
start like getting shot, and then these things in the ceiling are flashing this light that's disintegrating you if you run into it. So you see more of the team just disintegrate in this moment.
yeah. And when they are running above ground, when they finally get above ground, I thought it was an interesting moment. Like they have posters around of their faces saying that they're wanted, but there's a brief moment where you see Finnick's poster and Katniss just stares at it like longingly as they're running by. Like she takes a minute, and that's like the most time that you get to mourn Finnick as they continue to move. They are working their way to get into Snow's mansion.
Gale and Katniss get in these disguises, and you follow them to the Snow Mansion.
Yeah, they're wearing just like nice outfits because there's an announcement being played saying that anybody remaining in the capital needs to report to the mansion so that they can be kept safe. So they get to the mansion, all the people are outside the mansion waiting there, and they're moving the kids up front. Now, they're not letting them in, they're claiming they're about to, and then a fucking jet flies over with capital symbols on it, and it drops gifts like you'd see in the Hunger Games, and you see all the people reaching up and they're like, it's gifts from the Capitol. Like they all sound happy, like this is their savior. And the minute one of those gifts touches somebody's finger, boom, every fucking bomb is going off, everybody is being exploded. And then Katniss looks over and she sees Prim is there, and Prim's been training as a doctor now, and so she's there to provide medical aid for the people that just got bombed. And then another bomb goes off and kills her and knocks out Katniss.
Yeah.
When she wakes up, she's told the rebels have won, and that after they bombed their own people, you know, everybody turned against Snow. So she goes to speak with Snow. I guess I don't. It seemed almost like she didn't know she was going to go speak with Snow. Like she goes into his rose garden, and then he's there, and he comes out saying some crazy shit, you know, some nonsense. And oh, you know what he fucking says? I wrote this down because I was. Hold on. He comes out after she picks up a rose. Snow walks out, and he says, "Nothing says perfection like white." And I was like, "Whoa, Snow! I knew you were a fucking murderer, but a racist." Get the fuck out of here. Now, fucking kill him. Now he's gone too far. Anyway, I thought that was a crazy line.
I think that conversation is important between him and Katniss, and not only Katniss realizes that he's right in some way, he did it the wrong way, but she also realizes that he's dying.
Yes, but Snow tells Katniss he didn't bomb his own people, and that was Coin. He's like, that was a masterful move by Coin. It made them all, you know, turn against me. But like, so here's what I'm wondering. There's no actual confirmation that she did that. There is only Snow saying it. Now, Snow makes a point to say, "Oh, Miss Everdeen, I thought we agreed we'd never lie to each other." But who the fuck's gonna trust him? Do you think Coin did it?
Yeah.
Okay, but then there's another argument that people have made that they were only there outside the mansion to be Snow's human shield anyway. They were never allowed in. It was always to sit out there so that the rebels couldn't just steamroll through.
Yeah, I still think all of that was a setup by Coin in the end to give the final blow to the rest of the public, including the capital, the districts that were always on his side, that he was evil, and it was a masterful plan. I think something that Snow didn't do throughout any of the movies was lie to Katniss. He was always honest and always was like, "I'll kill you and your whole family."
He does, even in that scene, he says, "Now I'm not above child murder, but I'm not wasteful, and there's no reason to bomb the capital children," which, yes, I am like, well, yeah, if you bomb all the capital people, you have no one to lead, even if you win. So I can see him not doing it. But yeah, so after that, they are called in for a vote with Coin. All the victors are called in for this vote. And Coin is saying, we're going to assassinate or execute Snow tonight, but we are talking about having a symbolic Hunger Games. And immediately the room is just like, what? And she's like, but I'm not going to do it unless everybody votes for it. Most people vote no, I guess, at first, but then Katniss votes yes. And when she does that, Haymitch and her stare at each other for a moment, and I believe Haymitch knows that she didn't mean it. And so Haymitch ultimately votes yes, even though it was very clear he was going to vote no. Joanna voted yes, but she's very angry, so I understand that.
Yeah.
Um,
Because it's only going to be capital children in like districts 1 and 2. It's not going to be all districts.
yes. So they get ready for this announcement to happen after Snow is executed. Katniss is the one that's going to execute Snow. That's her condition to voting yes for the games. And she comes out. They're walking down that path that the tributes would ride down, showing off their outfits. Mm-hmm. I don't think it's talked about enough either. How far did she walk?
Like a mile.
It seemed even longer to me. Like, it was ridiculous.
It's like the royal wedding. You know,
yes.
Have you ever seen how far they have to walk at the royal wedding?
She starts at the stop. Like, they ride horses normally. She walks this whole path. By the time she gets there, I'm surprised she has the energy. But she sets up the shot to kill Snow. And Coin gives a very evil sounding, like, speech and gives her the go-ahead. And so Katniss then aims at Snow, but goes up and kills Coin. Immediately, she goes to take a pill to kill herself after that because people are rushing. I think she assumed that they were going to get her. They rush to beat Snow to death. And they're like, fuck it, we'll do it. And they don't even care about what she did. At least, not that general crowd that was there to kill Snow.
Snow was dying laughing.
Yes. Snow had a good time. But after that, she's brought into another room. She's told that, she can't stay here, and in a few years she'll be pardoned. She's read a letter by Plutarch that Haymitch reads it to her, which is nice because I think Haymitch didn't get a lot of love in these last 2 movies either, and I understand, but he's one of my favorites, so I wanted to see him. Anyway, the scene where Haymitch reads that letter to Katniss, it was originally supposed to just be Plutarch talking to her, but unfortunately Hoffman died before the scene was filmed.
I also think that Plutarch knew that Coin was evil.
Yes, I mean, you see him looking at her in certain ways throughout the whole time, even in the last one trying to tell her to do things in a certain way because she's just very aggressive. It's more like she just wanted Snow's seat. It doesn't seem like she wanted anything to change. Everything's going to remain the same, basically.
Yeah.
If it was just she was like, yeah, we're going to kill Snow, I wouldn't have been like, oh, that's evil. I would have been like, fine, fuck it. Things got to happen. But she even starts off with like, oh, I'm going to be the interim president until we'll figure it out.
And we're going to have the Hunger Games, and the entire point of the rebellion was to stop the Hunger Games.
Yes, so
and she gave 0 Fs.
I made comments that I might agree with her in the end because mostly I did not remember the fact that she wanted to have another Hunger Games. For some reason, I was just like, oh, people are mad because she wanted to kill Snow. Hey, sometimes shit happens.
Yeah, no. And then she goes on to show that Peeta and Katniss continued their relationship over the years, and it eventually evolved to where he fell back in love with her and they are together and have kids.
More importantly than them, Haymitch says goodbye to Effie and kisses her on the lips.
Oh yeah, and they never see each other again.
No, that can't possibly be true. I think that they were together the whole time secretly. Also, Woody Harrelson and Elizabeth Banks just decided to do that unscripted. But still, that's my headcanon, is that they were banging the whole time.
Oh, and did she move back to District 12 with him?
Yes, she learned.
Oh, okay.
Also, it doesn't matter because District 12 won't be trash anymore. Everything's going to be better. I wrote down, I guess, about the ending. Let me see. Oh, well, there is a scene that I thought was very sad where she sees Prim's cat and she screams at it, and that's super emotional. Like, it was almost unexpected. I'd already, I don't want to say forgot about Prim's death, but I was like, all right, we've moved from that. I normally, I'll write down what somebody said and then in quotation marks, and I'll put who said it. So the last thing I wrote in my notes is, there are much worse games to play. Cornball. Because what a fucking corny line. Shut up. Was that the last line of the book? It sounds so weird and unnatural. It's not the last line of the book? Why did she say that? She fucking is talking to the baby. I'm so mad about it because I was like, ugh, you sound so stupid.
I don't think the last word of the book is real. Because they continue this real, not real thing.
That's where I thought it should have ended, right when they're laying in bed and he says, "You love me, real or not real." She should have said real. End. Instead, they show them with kids and she's talking to the baby and she's like, "Do you have nightmares? I also have nightmares. One day I'll tell you all about it. Blah, blah, blah. Games. Blah, blah, blah. But there are much worse games to play." You're talking to a child. If I was PETA and I heard you, I would get you a doctor. Like, what are you saying? I couldn't stay. I was so upset about that line. It was such a dumb way to end it. I think it knocked off a half a point at least for that.
Damn. Yeah, I believe the last line of the book is real.
I'm going to check tomorrow. I'm going to fucking pick up the book and open it and just see.
I don't have it here with me or I'd look.
Cornball. All right. So, as you know, if you've been listening to our other episodes for this special, is that we've been running a sort of Hunger Games of different characters. Now, this is almost less of a Hunger Games and more of just an all-out brawl. I have given our victors each a partner and a buff. So our victors from our previous games were Rogue of the X-Men, Batman of Wayne Industries, Goku of Planet Vegeta,
Dragon Ball,
and Dragonborn of Skyrim. So Rogue is going to have Gambit with her as her partner for this fight, and they are empowered by Apocalypse. So they're Horsemen of the Apocalypse variants, means all their powers are boosted to max. Batman and Robin are going to be taking the Injustice pill. So this is the pill they take in the Injustice universe that allows them to go toe-to-toe with Superman. Robin will say I think it matters. I'm going to say it's Dick Grayson. Goku and Vegeta, they will be given access to all their transformation levels. I can't say all of them here because some people present haven't seen them all. And the Dragonborn and the Hero of Kvatch. The Hero of Kvatch is the main character that you play as in the game Oblivion. Takes place before Skyrim. Well, okay, never mind. That part don't matter. All in all, I just want to say that the buffs that I've given them... Oh, obviously, the Dragonborn and the Hero of Kvatch are the max level that you can have in those games. The buffs that I've given them, they have to be equal. You may hate that, you may want to argue it, but that's not what we're doing here. I'm not going to give anybody the win just by being like, well, they're so powerful, they got it. Everybody's just equal. Whatever they need to be equal, it's level. So this just comes down to their tactics, their experience.
That's just because he wants Batman to win. And Batman wouldn't be on the same level as the others unless he did the playing field.
That's so unfair. If we didn't do this... Okay, tell me. No boosts. Rogue, Batman, Goku, and Dragonborn.
Probably Goku.
Yes, it's done.
I don't think Goku and Vegeta will win because they can't work together.
Even in a pinch, even in a
pinch.
Prove yourself, who's the better warrior. Even in a competition, Vegeta says, I can beat more people than you.
Yeah, I don't think they work together well.
I don't know, man.
I mean, I do know that they end up fusing at some point because that earring, but I don't know what it means. So
you don't know shit. But yes, they can fuse. That's one of the things they can do. And
can't Rogue take their powers?
If Rogue can touch them, but can she?
I feel like Gambit could.
Gambit's not fast, but Gambit could distract for sure.
He said, "Whoo! I'm about to make a name for myself over here."
But Goku and Vegeta can instant transmission.
I know.
Actually, Vegeta can't. Sorry. Goku can instant transmission. Unless they combine, then they should be...
I think that Gambit could distract them with comedy, and then Rogue could...
Gambit's more of a card player. You might distract him with that. It's not like Gambit's not throwing exploding cards at them. Like, it's gonna be distracting. But Batman...
I think it's between Rogue and Gambit and Goku and Vegeta. The other people are not winning.
First of all... The Dragonborn and the Hero of Kvatch are Doctor Strange times 1,000. You're telling me with every spell in the world you can't come up with something to beat them?
Yes. Batman and Robin figure out a way to take away their spells.
I don't think they could. With all the prep time in the world, I don't think they're going to have any idea how to take care of that. Or Saiyans. There's no, Saiyan weakness the way that...
They only need Super Saiyan times 1 to beat Batman and Robin.
Well, no, they'll have the Injustice pill, so they'll be fine. But the problem is there's no way to deal with them besides waiting out their energy, and I don't think they can do it. So I think Batman and Robin are going to die.
Woo, they didn't make a name for themselves up in there.
I think Gambit might be overly confident, and also, God forbid Rogue should die, he's going to get sloppy. And Rogue might die trying to get near them. I mean, they could just blast people away with the power of them powering up, too.
I think that Goku and Vegeta win then. Because I think they'll do the sun bomb.
I think Goku and Vegeta win because of speed, and that's it. I think the Dragonborn and the Hero of Kvatch have the ability to wait out their energy, but they're not fast. There's nothing about it. You can do one move that makes you faster in that game, and you're never as fast as they are.
I feel like one of them could fight while the other one does the... What is it that blows up the planet?
Spirit Bomb.
The Spirit Bomb.
I don't even think they need the Spirit Bomb. Honestly, I think they lose if they try and use the Spirit Bomb. It takes too long. Because I think they're winning on speed, but if you stop and you're like, well, hold on. Everybody give me your power.
I think they fuse in the end... and are so fast the Dragonborn doesn't see what's coming, and they slice him in half vertically, not horizontally.
I don't know if they'd slice him in half unless Vegeta's mostly controlling their fusion.
Yeah.
Okay.
Goku lets Jeters get angry. Actually, the Dragonborn threatens their kids, and then they're like...
Dragonborn actually does not speak.
with his mind.
Yeah. Okay.
And then they get angry.
All right. Well, Goku and Vegeta have won our Hunger Games.
May the odds be ever in their favor.
Put your complaints in the chat. All right. What is your pitch line for your sequel?
What if we made it a series? I think it should be a remake of the movies. Like an 8-episode per season series. And I only say that because I feel like the movies, they did go into detail, but there's certain things I think that would have made it better. Like, and there's nothing that you could have done with just 2 hours of time. But I think seeing a little bit more into Peeta's background instead of just certain flashes of it would have been interesting. Like, what if we saw Katniss's, you know how it showed, like, her day leading up to it? Like, her and Gale ate a piece of bread. Like, they talked about all of these things. What if it showed Peeta's day leading up to him getting chosen?
You could show all the stuff that they skipped over about the Fox, the people with no tongues, like her one camera guy. You know,
yeah.
They stand all around. They're always there in the games and fucking around Snow. Even in the end, when Snow's at that table with just the remaining people, they have a couple of them there. And they have a whole arc in the books that they didn't do.
I also think showing more of the training would have been helpful, not to get to know the other victors at all, but, I mean, Katniss has this connection to Rue, but her and Rue never actually speak until the games.
Yeah, it'd be better to build that up. And it would be better to build up everyone in the games if you're going to feel anything for them.
Exactly, and I think that would have especially been the case in the second movie. Even though the second movie is the best movie, it gives you a better idea of how the careers are separated from everybody else and how they support the Capitol and they support this and, you know, blah, blah, blah. I don't know. I think that going into a little bit more detail, doing like 8 episodes per season would be interesting to see. And I don't think that we need to go all the way back to Ballads of Songbirds and Snakes. I'm just talking about the core 3 books.
Well, can you do like a whole episode that shows Mitch's backstory?
Yeah, I think parts like that would be interesting. Like, you know, he's a drunk and then maybe he's passed out and it flashes to the back and it's all a dream and it shows you him. I also think getting glimpses of Snow's past as to why he makes the decision he makes without giving the full story of his terrible movie.
Yeah.
But that's just my idea.
Well, I came up with a series as well. I just want to call it Underground, but I know that if somebody fucking put this on their streaming service, it would be called some dumbass mouthful like Underground, a Hunger Games series.
A Hunger Games story.
Yeah, because, you know, you can never just have anything. Everything's got to be fucking attached to something by the hip so that people will go see it. I'm looking for an Andor-style series with a drama like that, with a new character, Alder, who's a former member of the Covey people now living in 13.
Okay.
I didn't end up writing this, but I want it to be revealed in the very end that Alder is a descendant of Lucy Gray. Baird. Okay, so I have episode names as well as a little just description of the episode. I only have 5 episodes.
It's really long, though. Buckle up.
Episode 1. Our Lives Were Never Ours. We witnessed the beginning of the rebellion more than 75 years before the events of the Hunger Games. We jumped through various battles, not following one person until the eventual ceasefire between 13 and the Capitol as they reach a stalemate. The Capitol agrees to bomb the surface of 13 and claim they have defeated them, and to leave them alone going forward so long as they are never seen again. During the events of the second quarter quell, a young Alma Coin uses the horrific spectacle to drum up support and begin building her teams. Alongside her is Alder, who admires her and looks up to Coin, becoming her assistant at the young age of 13. Episode 2. May the odds be ever in your favor. A 3-year time jump. Now Alder is 16 and has learned much from Coin. I want to point out Alder seems like a weird name, but that is the name of a plant, so I'm going off the same Katniss, Primrose. Alder's a tree. It's actually the tree they used to build Gibson guitars, is it? I think it's Gibson's. Alder has learned much from Coin and remains committed to ending the Hunger Games and building a unified country. To this end, Coin gives Alder a special mission to sneak into the Capitol and befriend a child who happens to be the child of the head game maker. Alder does this as they are asked, and they are believing that the mission is there to gain critical information about the games. Alder brings back the child and is shocked to see the child use as a pawn to lure the game maker alone to District 13. Once the game maker is in their possession, Coin asks them to assist 13 in designing weapons to take on the Capitol. Meanwhile, Alder gets closer with the game maker's child, forming a close bond with them. Episode 3. Real or Not Real. The game maker learns the weapons he has been designing are not meant to face the Capitol, but to create a false flag operation to gain support against the Capitol. If you don't know what a false flag operation is, it's basically what you saw in that last one, where you do something and have people believe it was someone else in order to get people to support your cause. You may see a couple of those around the real world if you look. The game maker refuses to help anymore. Alder and the child are spending time together as friends when suddenly the child's father, the game maker, enters the room to tell their child it's time to go, but instead they violently attack the child as Alder tries helplessly to stop the attack. By the end, he lays there exhausted, watching the game maker sob over the body. Alder notices Tracker Jack or sting marks on the game maker's arms. Episode 4. Fire is Catching. It's a 4-year time jump now. Alder is 20 and has been seen listening to the door of a meeting with Coin and hearing about a plan to steal shipments of weapons and tech being prepped for the next Hunger Games. Coin catches Alder and offers to let them help. The plan is to rob a train and replace the boxes of equipment with boxes weighed down with garbage to prevent the wait station from discovering their heist. Alder and the team board the train disguised as peacemakers and will stall the train after the first weigh to give Coin and her team time to switch the boxes. On the train, things go wrong when Alder is questioned about his height. Reference to Star Wars.
Aren't you a little short to be a stormtrooper?
Yeah, but before they can react, his team kills the peacemakers, throwing them off the train. Alder is shocked and confused and blames himself for being questioned. The team uses this peacemaker's absence to cause confusion on the train, causing it to stop long enough for the switch. Everyone celebrates back in District 13 until a broadcast is seen showing the train exploded on its way into the Capitol, killing all the peacemakers at the base where the train stopped. Alder is confused and confronts Coin, only for her to insist that it was the only way to match the weight and the trash would not have been heavy enough.
Evil!
But I think that episode, encompasses what I'm trying to get at with the Andor inspiration, where I'm looking for, the spy shit, the background shit, not the straight up battles, all the shit that had to happen for them to get where they are.
Right.
Okay, last episode, episode 5, Remember Who the Enemy Is. Time jump to the victory tour of the 74th Hunger Games. Alder, now in his late 30s, no longer follows Coin around, but reluctantly remains one of her captains and is now closer to his friend Boggs. The time to reveal themselves to the world is coming, but Alder has never stopped questioning if what they're doing is right. Alder decides it's time to do something and wishes to alter Coin's plan and build up support for a more peaceful and less disruptive plan. But Coin has long kept Alder at a distance from her plans, and he only knows what he must. Alder uses all the skills taught to him by Coin over the years to infiltrate his own people and find out the specifics so that he might offer an alternative. Alder learns the truth about saving Peeta and leaving Katniss to die, but he was told the plan was to save all the victors. Alder discovers that they have in possession a Capital branded jet filled with bombs and fears the worst. Alder confronts Coin, and Coin asks Alder to allow her to explain and invites him to see the real plan. At the top of the long tunnel into District 13, Coin looks over her people and explains to Alder the pain they've endured and the hellish conditions they've dealt with, and that she wishes to free these people from the likes of Snow. As Alder argues, he believes he can reach through to his mentor one last time and offers an alternative plan he devised using everything he's ever learned from her, and would still allow Snow to be dealt with. Coin hugs Alder close and pushes him off the platform, falling to his death at the bottom of District 13.
Damn, that's good.
It would just end like that, so I don't have to deal with how she explains that he's dead.
You would already know that she was evil.
I know, but how do they explain that to the rest of 13? I guess I should have set up some through line throughout the whole thing.
They would have just said that it was too much for him. He killed himself. Blah blah blah.
That's what I was saying. I should set up some through line throughout the whole show that would lead people to accept that he possibly did it, except Boggs.
Yeah,
But
and that's
Boggs
why
can't
Boggs
prove
doesn't
it.
like Coin.
Yeah. But all this to show, I think not only am I touching on stuff showing Coin besides her final evil plan, showing how she slowly changed, but also her being a mentor to Alder, that touches on all the mentor stuff from all the movies. So I think it works out well.
It does. It was good. Well thought out. Distinct. Had points. You did a good job.
Did you like my titles of my episodes?
I did.
I named them after different things they've said.
I did. It was very good.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for listening. We do so appreciate it.
100!
If you want to talk movies with us, you can find us on TikTok, Instagram, Letterboxd, Threads, and Blue Sky. We are NansPod everywhere.
NansPod?
If you'd like to vote on whose sequel idea was the best, come by our YouTube channel for the polls, or you can let us know your idea across our socials or at needlesssequel@gmail.com. Links, as always, will be wherever you're listening. If I could ask you for one thing, is to share a show with someone and leave us a review. That is how we get new listeners. Of course, I also ask that you come back for more Needless Sequels. Next week, we'll be watching Elf on HBO Max. Take care of yourselves, everyone. We'll see you next week.
Bye!